Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the best show of the best shows, where we talk about everything from comic books to even social commentary. This is episode number
5
of For Canon's Sake. So whether you're a normie, a wannabe expert, or a tryhard, get in there. And now, for your host, Mr. Eric July.
What's up, nerds, geeks, normies, tryhards, all of yes. What's good, man? Episode 5 of For Canon's Sake, and this is going to be a really good one. You're going to want to stick around for this one. This is going to be fantastic. It's going to be fantastic. Trust me on this. We'll get into the pull list. We'll get into that a little later. But the main subject matter of today's podcast is going to be centered around something that I've done a video on in terms of showing my reaction to it. I've also done a more thorough breakdown of it. Wasn't that thorough. It's not going to be as thorough as this. It was only 8 minutes long. This is going to go as long as I very damn well feel like it. But Batwoman has finally got its trailer. And a lot of people are flipping out. It's getting ratioed to hell. And I'm not even going to say that it's wrongful for that to happen. I think that's more of a point to the times, right? We're pointing to what climate we are in. And a lot of people are fed up. A lot of people are going to be antsy. But I wanted to start it off with that because there was some people getting it twisted about my reactions too. I am not like many YouTubers, many commentators who are taking advantage of the climate that it is, right? It's just a sort of counterculture that is built up. Rightfully, absolutely rightfully, that this counterculture is built up. But I'm not the guys that feel like they have to go out of their way to try to look for social justice nonsense. Whether it be, in Batwoman's case, some sort of hyper feminism or anything like that. I'm not one of the guys that has to go out of their way to do that. I am an actual comic book fan, and I would love for that social justice stuff to be rid of, but I want more balance. It's not balanced. It's predictable, right? Whether it be in comic books, comic book film, comic book TV shows. It's predictable. And I feel like some of the writers are lousy, too on the nose. And I think maybe that's because they are using these comic book characters as their, let's say, canvas, right? So they don't care anything about source material before they were picked up as a writer. They don't care about any of that. It's more about using the character to put forth their own social agenda, right? Which is why, top to bottom, usually when you see this social justice nonsense, the writers have the exact same political and social views. So all they did was just write well, it's not even creative. I can't even call it semi-creative. It's really not that creative. But for the sake of this conversation, let's call it semi-creative. All they're doing is trying to be semi-creative and still put forth their political and social views. Now, I don't go nitpicking. I don't go looking for it, right? That's not what I do. Maybe some people have grown to expect that, which is unfortunate because that's not what it's about. I would give anything a fair chance. I gave even Captain Marvel a fair chance. I'm willing to see something and I'll be like, hey, this is what it's going to look like. I can say that, but I will always make sure that I say, I don't really know because I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen the movie. I haven't seen the TV show. Y'all saw my Supergirl video, which is really the video that blew up my channel. Or more so got a lot of people that were sort of attracted to that video obviously became subscribers. So I got a lot of comic book guys, a lot of people maybe that aren't comic book guys are just tired of social justice nonsense. And I waited until I was, season 3 before I did that review? It wasn't even a review. It was more so, all right, I'm done with it. But I watched it. And it was fine for a little bit. Even with the tidbits, the social justice tidbits, I was like, oh, okay. But then it just got too unbearable. And so I was like, I'm done with it. Captain Marvel, you can almost tell what it was going to be in terms of the promotional schemes, how they were promoting it, and then the movie just solidified everything. But I did see the movie. And this is why I review a lot of stuff, because I'll tell you straight up, don't go see this. Don't go watch Supergirl. You know, I'll take one for the team. I have no problem doing that. But this is kind of not only my job, but I'm a comic book guy. I'm not a multifaceted guy. I don't watch Star Wars like that. I'm not a multifaceted geek. I'm not a geek that has, surface level knowledge about everything. And that's not a knock to all those. But I'm a comic book guy. That's what I am. That's my specialty. So anything comics, I'm your guy. I don't, do Game of Thrones, all these sort of new sort of geek cultures that have popped up, and obviously old ones like the Star Wars of the world. I don't watch any of that. I am a comic book guy. That's what I do. So I will give it a chance, especially because this is my thing. This is my culture, right? So when we take Batwoman, and I threw a lot of people off on the trailer because I wasn't as pissed as a lot of people were, and I'm going to explain that here in a little bit. But I wasn't as pissed as a lot of people were. I have no problem with some of it. I will admit that, and the reason why my score of the trailer was being brought down was because, I guess the whole, I'm not going to let somebody take credit for a man take credit for something that a woman did or something along those lines, right? I don't know exactly why she's saying it. They make it appear like she's referring to people giving props to Batman for some of the things that she was doing as Batwoman. We could be completely wrong. I don't know. But that's part of it. So I gave it a chance, the trailer itself, because it's the first time that we're seeing this. I can't say this is going to be social justice nonsense for the first time that I'm seeing this first trailer. If you see her in the crossover, it's not that bad. People want to over-exaggerate, but it's not that bad. Her character in the crossover isn't that terrible. It's not. It's fine, actually. No, it's not. Isn't that? It's fine. You try to push it down your throat, anything. It was fine. And in a trailer, again, this is our trailer. Now, if there's 5 more trailers and they're all sort of along the lines of the first, then it's like, all right. And then after I watch it, then I'll give my fair analysis. But I'm not going to just say, oh, this is worse. Like, this is what trips me out. Is that people are saying that, well, how could you not have an issue with Captain, or how could you have an issue with Captain Marvel, or more so, how could you have that issue with Supergirl and be okay with this? First of all, I never said that this was what, it was going to be. I don't know. But the more important thing, you're shooting yourself in your non-argument in the foot because you're not paying any damn attention. I watched 3 seasons of Supergirl before I made that video. Before I said anything publicly about it. I watched 3 seasons of it. What are you talking about? So that's why I haven't watched 3 seasons of or Batwoman. I haven't watched 3 seasons of Batwoman. I don't know what this is going to be about. We can allude, we can speculate all day long. I don't know. And Captain Marvel, go watch what I said. I have my issues with the character in the comics in the first place. I don't have as many issues with Batwoman. This version of Batwoman, Kate Kane version of Batwoman, I don't have that many issues with her. I don't. I don't have that many issues with. I actually enjoyed it in the current, like the Detectives comics run starting like Rebirth. Pretty fine. Batman had Batwoman running a little team with who was it? Robin, Spoiler. Who else was on that squad? Swamp Thing. I forget who else was on that squad, but it was pretty solid. Their run's pretty solid. So I don't have as many issues. And she's a relatively new character. A little over 10 years old, this version of it. But, it's fine. I didn't have that many problems with it. Now, I can't say the same for Captain Marvel. I didn't like the character in the comics. And that's what it is. And go watch my videos. I reserved a lot of what I had to say until the movie came out. And after the movie came out, then it was like, all right, let's go to war, because I've seen it. I haven't seen this. None of us have. But what I'm saying is that there's this rise. I don't want to say a rise. Maybe it's always existed. But there's also, I talk about normies all the time. There seems to be, and rightfully so, people don't want TV and film being infiltrated by social justice warriors, which I'd argue is too late for that, but I get it. They don't understand, or maybe some of these guys don't read comics either. It's kind of like the normies that I talk about. Because people are talking about, oh, what's this lesbian version of White? That's who she's been. She's been that from the get-go. She's been that for 13 years in the comics. That's how she looks. Ruby Rose actually kind of looks like her, favors her. Her hair is not like red or anything like that, or orange. But that's how she looks. Short hair. That's how she dresses. That's Batwoman. And they'll say, oh, it's lesbianism. Stop. That's who the character is. Yes, it's a tokenized version of Batman. It is. And they will never be more preferable to the OG. Who's going to be more preferable to Batman? Let's be for real. And I have my issues with the plot line and stuff like that. Maybe we'll get into that a little later. But Batwoman is a tokenized version, which is why after watching the trailer, when they have the tidbits about, oh, you're a female Bruce Wayne. I think her father was saying that. Okay, you are. I have no problem with that. Then she has the bit where she's like, yeah, the suit is perfect, until, it fits for a woman. I had no problem with that. I had no problem with either of those lines. None. But I think people that don't read comics maybe either didn't like the character, and that's fine. And she's a tokenized character, and that's 100% correct. 100%. This is a totally unoriginal character, like Batgirl, like all of them. Like they're unoriginal characters. They're just versions of Batman. Female versions of Batman. That's all Batwoman, Batgirl is. The female versions of Batman. Totally unoriginal. The She-Hulks of the world, the Supergirls of the world, these are totally, Captain Marvels of the world, these are totally unoriginal characters. 100%. Tokenized character. But in the same sense, I've said that if you're going to tokenize a character, don't try to make them to where they try to eclipse the OG, which is what Supergirl tried to do. They trying to force it with the validation coming from Clark Kent, validating her, saying she's better in aspects. Like, come on, bro. Let's stop with the BS. But you had that element. And then you had Captain Marvel crapping on the legacy of Marvel, sex changing Marvel, like that was criminal. Right? So you can't do that, right? Really, the main thing that I have a problem with is the fact that, Batman's gone, right? But it just seems like there's no backup plan. There's nobody like facilitating what's going on in Gotham or anything like that. Maybe we get some answers. But the trailer, I'm just going by that. I'm going by the trailer and what it gives us. That's more what I had a problem with. But it is a tokenized character, nonetheless. However, if you take a look at this, I'd be a hypocrite if I just looked at the fact that, it was, we have a lesbian here, right? Because I'm always saying, all right, just take that character, don't turn Bruce Wayne into a lesbian. You know what I mean? Don't do that. Batwoman, yes, is a tokenized character, and again, those are always least preferable. But all I'm saying is that this character is how she is. And she acknowledges her femininity. She now acknowledges her womanhood. And a lot of people are looking at the fact that she has the short hair, so they have the tomboyish look, and she calls herself handsome, right? And they take a look at that, and they're like, well, she's not acknowledging her feminine. It's not, what, dog, I look at femininity as a scale. What other straight masculine men you know getting their eyebrows done and having makeup and lipstick on like she does? Or look, whatever, gloss or lipstick like she does in the trailer. I don't know. She's dressed, she has a short hair, she still has tight jeans, and like she's just dressed like more of a punk. And again, that's how she dresses in the comics. She's a lesbian, yes, but she's not like a full, I mean, for lack of better words, a dyke, like you would think. Butch. I'm not using those words as slurs. I'm using those as, all right, if we had some like hefty woman who was trying to act like a female that was trying to act like a man. That is not what Kate Kane is. That's not what she's even being depicted in as a trailer. I look at femininity as a scale. Is she as feminine as like Catwoman? Absolutely not. That doesn't mean that she's not feminine. She acknowledges her womanhood. And again, she's more dressed like, you know, a chick that I would see at a metalcore show that I perform at with short hair, got a little leather jacket, tight jeans. That's just how, eyebrows done, makeup, lip, like, that's just how that's what it is. I look at it on the scale, and she's still on the feminine scale, regardless of her saying that she's handsome. I'm just saying, that's just what it is. By all means, if you can find me a masculine dude who you look at as, that's what I think when I think masculine. Some skinny dude with makeup and it wouldn't be short hair in terms of a dude, but relatively short hair with lipstick and makeup and all that and tight jeans. Yeah, okay, all right. Come on, bros. Let's be fair about this. And I have to be fair. So she's acknowledging that. She's not running away from it. She's not shying from it. And again, it's sort of accurate to the depiction that she has in the comics. Minus the hair color. That was actually a decent casting. I'm going to be completely honest with you. That was actually a decent casting. But I think where a lot of disconnect is there's one side that, again, doesn't really know about this character. So they think it's just bringing her in. This hyperfeminism, lesbianism, not even understanding that they probably haven't read it looks like they haven't read the comics either. I'm just being completely honest because she's fairly accurate. Now, the thing is, and this is what I wish people would just flat out say, is that this is bad timing in terms of the climate. They're not going to be as nearly as fair as I am to it. Take a sip of this water real quick. Nice water. But they're not going to be as kind to it because they're sick of it. Right? They're tired of it. And I'm not saying that that's not rightfully so. I would say that this is more a victim of the times. I think that if this came out and there was no Captain Marvel, there was no Supergirl, and there was none of this social justice infiltration in comics in both, Marvel, all this tokenizing going on. And by other, I always define tokenizing two different ways. There's yes, making female, black versions of his or whatever versions of the same character that already is established, but also when you completely race change an established character, crossing over in the film, which is what we've seen that as well. So, and that's been heightened, if you will. So I get that. I get that 100%. I get that 100%. That people are tired, and it's more of a victim of the times. I think if those movies didn't come out, those films didn't come out, and all that tokenizing wasn't taking place, then people wouldn't be as uptight with it. But they're antsy right now. People are antsy. So as soon as they see any little thing that even alludes to something that may be just another show full of social justice, they're going to get irate. And I would say, I guess rightfully so. This is the counterculture that they incentivize to exist. It's a reactionary culture. It would have landed better if I think for sure, they had to remove some of the lines. I mean, it got a little too corny, a little cringy with that last line that I mentioned about the credit thing. And then they have some "I'm a woman" song in the background. Like, come on, man. Come on, dog. So I get that. But people are looking at this, and I think that it's personally a test of the times, or more so pointing to the time. I think you do this in another era, it doesn't land like this. But that's how it is. It's a matter of perspective. So when you take a look at it like that, I will never say that you shouldn't be a little pessimistic after seeing that. I get it. I'm not as pessimistic as you guys because I'll give it a chance at least. But I get it. I get it. I get it 1,000%. I get it. If you're like, this is probably going to be some social justice nonsense, I get it. 100%. But you can't make a claim as the 19th of May unless you got inside information. You can't make a claim that it's going to be just a replica of Supergirl with that much SJW crap in it. You can't say that. You can say that it looks like it, but you can't make that claim unless you've seen the episodes. Again, going back to what I said, this is why I didn't react to it like you maybe see me react in Supergirl. The fact that people will even make that correlation kind of low-key is stupid. High-key, not even low-key, it's stupid. You're going to tell me, after me doing a video, after watching something for 3 seasons, and be like, how could you have a problem with that, but not a problem with this? Dipshit. Are you serious? Are you joking with me right now? I watched it for 3 seasons. I haven't watched this for 3 seasons. I've only seen the trailer, and I've seen a crossover event, which wasn't that bad when they went to Gotham. It was not that bad. Come on, dog. So I get it. If you want to say that it's going to look like that, go ahead and say that. But don't act as if it's a fact. And I have the right to, I ain't going to change my mind about anything. But when I get more information, I have no problem being like, you know what? Here we go. This is it. But I analyze it honestly. After I've seen, I'm not going to jump out on a limb. I think people, that's an error. I think that's a critical error for a lot of guys to do that are part of this more so counterculture that want to see the world rid of this nonsense. I don't think you should be itching to find it. I don't think that's the way to go about it. Don't be stupid about it. But I don't think it's the way to go about it to sit here itching to find, just itching like, oh, man, look at this. At the very slight, you see somebody that's a lesbian, like, no, bro, that's not what it is. Come on, dog. Just pay attention. But don't jump off the ledge early. It's not necessary. The show's coming. We'll see it. It's okay. It's okay to be like, okay, it may be this. It's okay to do that, but you can't say it for a fact until you actually see the show. And that's how it is with me. I get what some people are saying. They say that it looks like maybe she's trying to crap on the legacy of Batman. I know a lot of people didn't like how they done Luke Fox. I get all of that. I get 100% all of that. But we haven't seen anything. And if she goes in there and she's like, F Batman. All right. What are you doing? What are you doing, Batwoman? But we don't know. We really don't know. We don't know. That's all I'm saying. We don't know. And if I'm going just by look, it looks like I could see that being a Batwoman. It's one of the least, like, if I'm talking about a character crossing over, like, I would argue that's one of the more accurate castings. That's one of the more accurate castings. And I can read some of my comments and I can see when people say like, oh, she looks like this with just short hair. Like, I can tell these people do not read any comics. They're just looking for something to get mad at. And those are the people that you won't see me outline myself with them. just because they get mad at some shit. You won't see me allying myself with them. You got to at least do it, and it has to be of merit. It has to be of reason. It has to be of logic. It has to be of purpose, not just for the sake of getting mad, just to be getting mad, finding social justice nonsense for the sake of finding it. That's not what I do. And I won't ally myself with somebody that does that, because you're just doing the same thing as a normie. Well, not as a normie, because it is normie stuff, but more so as those obnoxious normies, right? That don't really read the source material, but are trying to change stuff. I mean, this is a similar setup. So be mindful of that. There's no reason, definitely considering that it's everywhere, there's no reason to try to go out your way to look for stuff. Like, if you're going to get upset with, okay, you don't want to see Batwoman, you don't like the character, okay. If you want to be irate with the fact that they chose that character over maybe Batgirl or something, all right, fine. But don't start getting mad at how she's depicted in the comics when she's being depicted in a live-action film, because that's who she is. If you want to say the character sucked from the get-go, that's fine. I did that with Captain Marvel. But you can't be upset with how the character's being depicted if that's accurate to the comic. Or that more so, that just can't be your gripe. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Yes, that's how the character is depicted in the comics. So what's the deal? So it's all good. If you don't like the character, I get it. I get it 100%. That's something totally different. All I'm saying is, people, is I don't go looking for trouble. I will honestly analyze a situation. I will honestly analyze a show. I will honestly analyze a comic book, film, comic book TV. I'll do all of that. I will give it at least a slight bit of chance if I'm somewhat interested in it. And again, Batwoman, the character's okay, being handled okay. Again, it's another tokenized character. And tokenized characters are not preferable to the OGs. I wish people would stop doing that. Absolutely. But I do believe that there's a scale. There's least preferable tokenized. All of them are least preferable, I guess, in terms of if you're comparing them to the OG. But I think some are handled better than others. I think She-Hulk has been handled better than Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, the recent incarnation of her. Maybe better as Miss Marvel, but if we compare She-Hulk to this version, then yeah, obviously She-Hulk's betterly handled, even though both of them are tokenized characters. So I'm still against that act. I wish they would stop doing that. But I'm saying, given the fact that I have this as an option, right? They just gave it to me. I can at least compare and contrast. Batwoman in the comics is one of, at least in my honest opinion, is one of the better handled tokenized characters. I'm just being straight up with you. She's okay. She's decent. In the context of her being a tokenized character, that is. Got to make that distinction. She'll never beat out the OG. Period. And they shouldn't try to make her. If they start doing that, then I'll start hating the character. But it is what it is. But that's all I'm saying, man. Keep that in mind. Don't go looking for stuff, man. At least I don't. So when I say something that be like, I'll give it a chance, I understand where I'm coming from. I'm not over here trying to look for stuff to be mad at. And you can't compare this to my reactions to Supergirl. Even in my reactions to Captain Marvel. Like, go look at my videos. I thought the character was goofy, and I speculated what it would be, and it was exactly what I thought it was going to be. But I still watched the movie. And if the movie wasn't the nonsense that it was, I would have said that. I would have been like, you know what? They set it up like this, and it was not that. But it was exactly that. I'm going to do the same thing with Batwoman. After I watch episodes, if it's the same old nonsense, I would say it's the same old nonsense. And it sucks. I'll say it. I have no problem doing that. But I don't want to just act like I want that to be the case. I'll take a look at it. That's all I'm saying. I will take a look at it.
Yo, Eric, you nerd. Quit with the mumbo jumbo and talk about some new comics. What's on your pull list for the week?
Okay, on the pull list for the week, got some good stuff. We got Black Widow issue number 5. This is the final. And it makes me very sad. It makes me very, very sad. The final issue, it was only a limited series with 5 issues by the Saska sisters of Black Widow. And I'm sad that it's ending like this. I really am. And I think that Marvel should pick them up as writers. They should be writing 500 issues of Black Widow, high issues, because they're going to handle the character right. They know exactly what they're doing. They know how to write a female superhero. They know how to do it. They just know how to do it. The Saska sisters are the best in the business right now. This is my favorite line. This is my favorite comic right now. Hands down. It's not even close either. This is my favorite comic, and it's ending, and it makes me very sad. Saska sisters, I hope they pick them up to continue to write Nat, because they've done a great job. They've done an excellent job, and I really do hope that they get an opportunity and even do maybe some other characters, but for sure Black Widow, because it's just too perfect, two-handed glove fit. So if you have not read the current run of Black Widow, I will most definitely check it out. It's very good. And next up, we got Justice League issue number 24. We got Batman issue number 71, Home Invasion. We got Uncanny X-Men 18. Interested to see with the whole Wolfsbane thing and what's going to happen going forward. It has Mystique on the cover, it looks like. So we're going to check this out and see what this is going to be all about. I believe that's what it is. What's this going to be all about? So we'll check that out. Uncanny X-Men 18. We got Guardians of the Galaxy number 5. We got Daredevil number 5. War of the Realms. I got to get caught up with this, but we got War of the Realms Strike Force, the War Avengers, which unfortunately has Captain Marvel leading them. That's never good. We have Spider-Man, or the War of the Realms, Spider-Man and the League of Realms. We also have Giant Man, War of the Realms, so he'll be joining as well with the within War of the Realms, and obviously, what is this? War of the Realms issue number 4. So, we got a bunch of War of the Realms stuff as always. I got to get caught up on some of this stuff, even from last week. But that's on the pull list for the week. I cannot say enough. If you look, just go get you the 5 issues of Black Widow. I believe that's going to go in history. It's the best of the characters been handled. It was a great way to, they've done so many things right. If you want to look at some, it's funny, we were talking about this at the beginning of the show with Batwoman and all of this and how to handle a female character. If you want to see how to handle a female character, go read the current issues, or the current run more so, of Black Woman. What the hell? Black Widow. Black Widow is the name of the character, not Black Woman. Jesus Christ. Just go read it. They not only, like Nat acknowledges her femininity. It's all good. Her hair is short too, ironically. Not as short as Kate's though. Kate has like this buzz cut thing going on, but she's feminine. She's badass. She doesn't have to remind you that. And they're handling a relevant topic in human trafficking and pedophilia. And she's going to whoop some ass on some pedophiles and human traffickers, child traffickers, and I love it. It's just so good, and I can't say enough. I would highly recommend that you take a look at Black Widow. It just ended, but it'll be new to you if you haven't read it. Issues number 1 through 5.
That's going to do it for today's episode of For Canon's Sake with Eric July. Be sure to keep it locked for the best mix of comics and political commentary you'll ever hear. And I mean ever hear. To get caught up or to contact the show, be sure to visit forcanonsake.com.